Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, welcome back to my channel. If you've already watched my videos before, hello. Today I'm making a video about Grow a Garden and some tips and tricks, starting with when you first start the game and then some tips for people who've been playing for a little while. So let's go! These tips aren't for ultra beginners. It's if you've already opened up the game and you kind of know what the buttons do and you know how to buy plants and harvest things. So, okay, when you first start and you only have a little bit of money, just ignore how much money I have and pretend that I don't have much money. You're going to want to buy carrot seeds first, obviously, to get your first little amount of money, and then you want to probably focus on strawberries, maybe blueberries as well, because these are multi-harvest. It means you can you can use one seed to get a plant, and then fruits will keep growing and you don't need to keep buying plants. You're going to want to plant them really close together. So, don't know why it didn't let me, okay, as close together as it will let you. Like that. Then they're going to start growing and you can just stand here and harvest them and get some more money and grind like that. As soon as you've got a nice little stock of money and you can buy some more expensive things, focus on bamboo. Whenever it's in stock, buy it all up and plant it in your garden in a nice tight area, remember, and then leave it and wait for a couple of weather events so it can get a couple of mutations and it's worth quite a bit of money, so you are going to get some bank from that. Once you have a few plants in your garden and start buying more expensive plants that produce bigger fruits and such, don't immediately come along and shovel up your plants here with the shovel and destroy them like this, because sometimes these can be useful even a little bit later in the game. If you have a big plot of strawberries that you've been using to grind and get some money, absolutely get rid of a little bit, but don't get rid of them all, just keep a little patch like this. Instead of singly clicking the E button to collect things, you can hold it down and it will mass harvest like this, and you can walk around and jump while harvesting. Okay, that's it for the beginner section. Let's move on to something a little more advanced, maybe when you have your garden a little bit more organized. I recommend making a private server for yourself. I'll show you how to do that in a minute so that you can just play, grind, chill, whatever. If you're wanting to trade pets or maybe gear, try and get some big amounts of money like this, you can really only do it trading with other players. So that's when you go on public servers, but I prefer to play on private servers just by myself. I can chill, I don't have to worry about people coming up to me and begging me for things. So to create a private server, you're going to open up the game, scroll down to servers, and it will be this button here. You can only create one private server. So you'll click on this button and it will say, do you want to do this? And it's going to look a little bit scary. It looks like it's going to cost money, but it's actually free and you have it forever. So when you want to have a little play and grow a garden just by yourself, have a little chill, you'll scroll down, go into servers, find your server and click on join. In the guide section over here and in achievements, work on this here, this common achievements. So do all these tasks. It'll show you a little percentage bar of how many you've done. Hold on, let me go here. Here we go, see? It'll show you how many you've done so that you can see how much there is to go. When you've completed this, you'll get a cooking pot and some seeds, obviously. You can use this cooking pot to cook foods, which is useful for your pets and also for the guy that sells seeds. I'll talk about that in a minute in the trading section. I recommend working on this section. Obviously with the gifting, you're going to have to play with other people. You can do this with your friends on your private server, or you can go onto a public server and ask people if you can give them the fruits for your achievement. Usually people will be pretty nice and let you do that. When you have a lot of big plants like this, it's tempting just to fill in every single gap, but remember to keep an area clear for hatching eggs and another area clear for putting your crates down. Every once in a while, randomly, sometimes you can get a huge plant in your garden, like this one here, just all of a sudden popped up and it was giant. So I like to avoid harvesting my big ones. I like to keep them, I like to admire them, and the longer that they stay there without being harvested, the more mutations they collect and the more valuable they become. So if you use this favorite tool, which you can buy from the gear shop, from this lady over here in the distance, you hold the favorite tool and select whichever fruit you want to keep favorited. Use it on the fruit, not the plant. Click like that and it's favorited, and now you can't accidentally harvest it because the little prompt to harvest the fruit just disappears. Also, you can use a magnifying glass on this plant. If you click it like that, it's going to tell you how much that plant is worth, which is really fun if you have a big fruit and you're collecting the mutations. You can see what the mutations are and you can see how much the fruit is worth. If at some point you want to collect this fruit again, click your find your favorite tool and click on the plant again and you'll be able to collect it. If I can reach it, there, you can collect it. The harvest tool is probably my favorite tool, especially for things like beanstalks. They go up really tall and they have quite a lot of fruits, so I always buy the harvest tool when it's in stock. It's quite expensive, but once you've got a bunch of money, it's not going to make any difference to how much money you have, so don't worry about that. So you just hold the favorite tool, click on the plant, and it's boom, it's going to collect all the plants for you. Easy peasy. No need to climb up here and jump around and try and find the fruits. If there is an event happening, for example, the safari event is happening right now in Roblox, just ignore working on your garden for a little bit. You can do some things, of course, but focus your time on taking part in the event. You're going to be able to get nice rewards, exclusive items, and often there will be some kind of trader, and you can get some cool stuff from the trader that you wouldn't be able to get from any seed, gear, or pet shops normally. So this is a really good thing to invest your time into. You're going to get some really cool stuff. Oh my gosh, I look incredible. Okay, well, just ignore my terrifying face. I recommend having at least one pet in your garden that you are aging up specifically to trade it in. You go into the shop tab and then down into the pet section and click on free upgrades. You have here this little section. So you've got the info about the egg rarity. You can sell any pets that you don't want to have if you want to get a little bit of money. And in here, this is the pet equip slots. This is my favorite one. As you get more slots, the age of your pet needs to be higher for you to be able to trade it in. And you can get extra slots, which is these, and you can have more pets on your farm. You start off with 3. I now have 5 slots because I've traded in 2 pets. You can also trade in pets for egg equip slots. This is how many eggs you can put on your farm to hatch them. And this one is how many pets you can hold in your inventory before you need to sell some. Do you run out of room? When it comes time to feed your pets, as you can see, all of my pets are absolutely starving right now. I recommend cooking them some food. This one is just 5 tomatoes plonked in the cooking pot. It takes between 4 to 9 minutes to cook it up, and then feed it to your pet. And as you can see, it did 400% hunger, which if my pets were a younger age, that would fill them right up. But my pets are a little bit old to do that, so instead I usually use beanstalks or some kind of more rare and valuable plant. As you can see, that filled it right up. It did 2000% hunger. Another use for the food that you make in the cooking pot, once again, this is 5 tomatoes chucked in there. I'm working on the use 500 tomatoes in cooking achievement. Take the food to Sam. When he gets to level 2, you'll unlock a special tier in the seed shop. You can only feed him, what is it? Is it 24 hours? But there will be a cooldown, so you can't just spam feed him. Once he gets to level 2, you're going to unlock this section in the seed shop, which I think that restocks every 24 hours as well. And you can get some unique little seeds in here. They'll be pretty expensive, but you can't buy these anywhere else, so that's a really good thing to do. You can also feed Raphael. There we go. Oh, he's on a cooldown at the moment. And that will unlock the second tier in the egg shop. As you can see, I've let his hunger level drop down, so the tier has disappeared. So just remember to feed them every once in a while. It sounds so weird. You know, just bring them food, you know, don't let them starve, you know, and don't let their hunger drop down, and they will keep their second tier open for you, and you can get some more unique items. Another tip about trading is if you have a plant that you particularly like and you don't want to sell it, or it's really valuable and you want to be able to show it off later, hover over it and right click with your mouse and it'll give it a little love heart. So now when you go to Stephen and say, hello Stephen, I want to sell my inventory, it's going to sell all of your plants except the ones with the love heart. That will keep them safe. And as you can see, I have quite a few plants here in my inventory that I don't want to get rid of for whatever reason, just because they're cool or they're rare. Look at this giant coconut, by the way. And finally, here is my secret tip. If you go into the shop tab here and then have a little scroll, if there's a pack available, there's going to be a free item. I've already claimed the free item yesterday evening, so it hasn't restocked yet. But instead of this Robux item, it's going to say claim and be green, and you can click on it and you can get the thing for free. Sometimes it's going to be a good sprinkler, it's going to be a bunch of money, a watering can. It's not going to be anything amazing, but you know, free stuff. Yes, please. Oh, jump scare. And that's it. That's all the tips that I had for today's video. Let me know if you want a second video, because I'm sure I could think of some more tips that might be helpful to you. Yeah. Bye. I just waved in real life, dude. No way. Oh my gosh.